Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Thank you very much, Megan. Welcome, everybody, to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm your host, Josh Taylor. In tonight for Bob Pompiani. By the way, special shout-out to Pomp. In case you didn't know, he was named Sports Reporter of the Year by Pittsburgh Magazine. He's actually on the cover of the magazine, so congratulations, Pomp. Well-deserved. I call the man the GOAT for a reason, but all the same, shout-out to Pomp for a well-deserved honor. But welcome to the show. Lot to talk about. If you want to start with the most obvious stuff, let's do it. Pirates, 7-game losing streak. They get swept in Atlanta. Joe Musgrove on the mound today. Things didn't go that great for him. Things haven't gone that great for the pitching staff as a whole. If you go through the numbers just on these last 7 games alone, you stand alone, just those numbers for the pitching staff in this road trip and this losing streak. It might make your hair just stand on end with the lack of efficiency right now. Not just the starters, it's not just the relievers, it's across the board. It's pretty bad. And the frustrating part, if you really want to try to attach one level of frustration or one area of frustration, I know there's several, but let's just pick one. This is a series with the Braves where the Pirates scored a good number of runs on an average basis. I think it was, maybe 5 or 6 runs a game during the total of this series, and could not get a single win because they still gave up more on average. Not only on average, but in actuality, each night they gave up more runs, and they couldn't seem to hold any kind of semblance of a lead with this pitching staff. It's really maddening if you look at it, and it's frustrating. It'll drive you crazy, but all the same, you look at what this team now is facing. They're going to go to Miami for 3 games. And they're going to go to Miami with the pitching rotation kind of in a flux right now because you just lost Jordan Lyles. You brought Mitch Keller up. He's already started. You brought Chris Archer up. He's already started. And then Joe Musgrove started against Atlanta. So now you're in kind of a flux. You're trying to figure out who's going to pitch for you these next couple games here. And are they good enough to get the job done? A discussion I just had with my colleague Jason Rawlson during the BuckoCast podcast. Shout out to Jason. We were talking about this. Should Mitch Keller get another start on the major league level? Well, he kind of has to at this point, right? What else are you going to go to? What other options do you really have right now with this rotation? What other options do you really have with this bullpen? You just DFA'd Nick Kingham. He's just been traded to Toronto. That happened today, by the way, for cash considerations, in case you hadn't heard. So what other options are left on this team? It looks like Steven Brault might be the next passable or logical candidate to start a game. That's assuming Jordan Lyles comes back healthy. There are a lot of things that are just up in the air right now. And if I had to describe what I feel about this whole situation, I describe it as I don't even know what to think because there are so many things that just aren't tangible, that are literally in the immediate future with this team. There are so many things that aren't tangible that you can't make heads or tails about. And the things that you should be able to make heads or tails about, they can't seem to either. And I think that's the frustration with a lot of people. We could talk about the Chris Archer trade. We can talk about the injuries. We could talk about whether or not certain players should be called up or sent down. We could talk about that. And those would all be valid conversations. The main thing I'm looking at right now is that we don't know what to think about this team because we can't see what's in front of them, because we don't even know how to make sense of what's happening, much less how to even look at what to do down the road. We got to take a break. 412-575-2600 is the number on the Borders and Borders hotline. We are taking your phone calls, also taking your tweets at Josh Taylor HD. So we'll come back. We'll answer some phone calls and some tweets. See you around.
Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call is brought to you by Ireland Contracting, celebrating 25 years as Pittsburgh's #1 home exterior expert in roofing, siding, windows, and gutters, where honesty and integrity still matter.